What up, y'all? You tuned in to the 52 Scott Podcast. Welcome to this edition of Black Friday. I'm your host, Slash, and with me I got comedian 96, K Money, and Freddie G. Together, we the Mind of Men. Don't forget to like and subscribe, plus follow us on Twitter, 52 Scott Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. All right, y'all, welcome back to Black Friday. Got another interesting show today. It's basically going to be the difference in the black culture and the white culture in certain types of markets, such as consumer markets and other places in that nature. So I guess I want to say that it's different when a black person is in the workplace, and it's a little bit different when the white person is in the workplace, and they can be in the same position. And this is my honest opinion, and this is opinionated. I think the white race in any situation when it comes to a workplace is going to have the more room to do stuff, if I could say it like that, you know. So he's going to get away with more stuff than the black man is going to get away with in the same position, you know.
More leeway.
Yeah, they get more leeway. And we know that to be true. You know, we know it to be true about the whole culture altogether. Now, is it fair? No, I don't think it's fair, you know. But what do y'all think? Have y'all had any situations in the workplace, or know of any situations in the workplace where the white guy got the better situation than the black guy did? Is there any you could think of?
I don't know. Okay, so I can't prove it, right? Mm-hmm. But any job that I've ever worked, I've always had the mindset of the rules are a little bit different for me.
Right.
And so kind of like, you know how we make jokes in the workplace where we say, hey, you know, it's more than two of us together sitting here talking. Yeah, so we need to move around. We know we can't have no more than two of us together. Right. Versus somebody that's white, it could be 4 or 5 of them together standing around talking.
That's a good example.
So I can't prove the question that you're asking, right, but I know it's there, Slash. I know that it's there. And so I'm always mindful of it, and I'm always mindful that I will never be treated fairly. Right.
So and that brings me to this point. I'm glad that you said that, because does the white man have a better chance at getting the promotion?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Absolutely. Why do we think why is that though?
Because we're not in the position. When I say we, meaning people who look like us, most of the times we're not in the position to do the promoting. And so people in those positions look more like the people that they're actually promoting. Right. So I think that they'll be more apt to get the promotion. Yeah. Before us.
In most situations they do, you know. And then again, I think it's a lot have to do with that also, because it comes down to, at some of these places, it's about who you know, and well, Bob's sister hangs out with Joe's dad or Joe's cousin. You know what I mean? So he needs the job, and he's been there. They hired him, so it's like, okay, we got a position open. We'll give it to Joe.
Nepotism.
Yeah, that's what that is. So that's just saying, you know, I know you, I'm going to put you. So we have to deal with that in any job place, because we know that they're probably going to get that promotion.
Question before we move on from this one. Freddie G, you mentioned, you know, we're not in the position of doing the promoting. If we were in that position, do you think things would change, or do you think that we would be pressured to keep things going as is from higher?
I think the person that's in the position to do the promoting, I think that that individual has to have a certain amount of integrity. And what I mean by that is, sometimes you got people in those positions and they've gotten there because they were bootlicking, shucking, and jiving, and ass kissing to get to those positions. And when they get to those positions, they want to keep where they are, so they want to show their boss that, hey, I don't have to always hire my people, and so want to stay in good graces with their boss.
Right.
But their boss kind of put them there to kind of show that, yeah, we give you guys opportunities,
Right.
but now that individual is there, they won't let him actually do what he needs to do.
Right.
They'll treat him like a puppet.
Exactly.
They
So
wanna
he's
tell him what to
he's
do.
the token black.
Right. That's
Exactly.
what they make him out of.
And let me tap in on that also. I mean, I know you
Go
had
ahead,
it to
go
the
ahead.
white
No,
man, but
yeah,
I
go
gotta
ahead.
say, it's not just the white man. I don't personally, my opinion. Not just my opinion, just facts, just my factual what's happened to me. I think that other races are put ahead of us, not just white.
In some cases,
Right,
they are,
right,
and
right.
and that's a good point that you make because now it's not just
Yeah,
them.
Yeah, because most of my incidents,
Yeah.
I've had 4 incidents, and they were all Hispanic related where I
Yeah.
lost the job.
Yeah.
And it wasn't white; it was the Hispanics that actually, and
Yeah.
Filipinos. So those have been my problems. So don't get me wrong; to each his own. Other people's have other problems, but I'm telling you, it's always
Right.
So other races are usually not just white or put above us also.
Yeah, that's been happening here lately in America, but that is what it is. So now let's talk about the difference in the two cultures in purchasing a home. You're a first time buyer. You want to purchase you a home for you and your family, just like he do. Now you may get hit with a higher percentage or interest rate
Stipulations a
at
lot.
closing than he do. You know what I mean? And your credit could be just the same,
If not
Yep.
better.
if not better.
Yeah.
You can still get hit with and this is facts that
Yeah.
we know of. you
Yeah.
know? So that makes it tougher for us to build something for our family or leave something for our family. And that's not fair.
At all.
Yeah.
Why would you make it harder for us? We human just like you are, and the only thing different about us is the color of our skin.
Well, that's that hidden racism.
Yeah, it is.
And my point is, it'll never change. I think this is a never changing deal with racism, whether or not it's going to be black on white or whether it's going to be Hispanic and white or what. I think it's a thing that's never going to be stopped, which is why these types of conversations are very important. Everybody needs to understand what's really going on before you could even come up with a way to resolve some of the issues.
Yeah, I agree. And with the housing, getting a loan, and we know historically, even back when you're trying to purchase a home, I mean, they had the redlining to where we couldn't get what we need, and thus the reason they've tried to make it right as far as putting acts into place like the Fair Lending Act and the Fair Housing Act. And man, I would encourage you guys, there's a movie called The Banker. On your spare time, I would encourage you guys to watch the movie The Banker.
Okay.
You'll find it interesting when it comes to home purchasing and banking.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good movie.
So here's where they hit you with the deep stuff when they're writing those agreements. So what we tend to forget, I know you've seen it before. You try to buy car insurance and you live in a certain zip code,
Right.
And you're like, man, why is this higher over
Higher
here?
over here, yeah.
And how there? I think in those addendums and those agreements that you write, and you whatever zip code you buy those houses at, tends to put the value on your house, right?
Yeah.
So most of the times, other races they're buying upwards and outwards, to whereas we could possibly buy maybe close to a community that insurance may be high or whatever. So it could be towards that the way we're picking, but at the same time, I think those agreements are written to hurt us.
Yeah, well, it was
You know.
it was done like that for a reason. So now let's take politics, for instance. We've had a black president.
Yes.
You know, we've had one since our lifetime. We was able to see Barack Obama was the black president.
Shout out.
And the president after him was former President Donald Trump.
Right.
So now, let's take these two, for instance. You put the black guy in the position, and you make him what Freddie G talked about earlier, the puppet. But then you put the former Trump president in the office, and you let him be who he wanted to be. You know, it shouldn't have mattered how much money anybody had, but it's basically about being qualified for the position to be able to do it is what I think would be important. But what I'm saying is they created a president out of Barack Obama when Donald Trump became president with who he was.
I think that accounts to whatever we do as blacks, we have to tread lightly.
Right.
So he couldn't be, even though he showed little remnants, the basketball, but that's about far as he would go, basketball. But he couldn't do what Donald Trump did, or is still doing. You know what I mean?
I think
we
Barack
can't
did what he could, based on the support that he had.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The job definitely wasn't easy. For one, being the first black president, that
Right.
drew definitely worldwide attention. But again, he didn't have the support either term, to I think be as successful as the blacks were thinking and
Right.
expecting.
exactly.
So that brings me to this. Now, do you think that he would have been, they would like Barack Obama the way, let's just say he was doing like Trump was?
Well, he wouldn't have lasted
Would
that
he
long.
have been, you see what I'm
He would have
saying?
been impeached.
Yeah, but here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. Okay, so with Obama, it may appeared that he was the token black or whatever you want to call it, but let's be honest, man. The man wanted the votes to get in, right? Now, initially, when I say we, meaning the Democrats had control of the of Congress, but probably like 2 years in after his presidency, we had no control in Congress.
Yeah,
And the reason why we didn't have any control in Congress is because we got comfortable and we didn't go vote during the midterms.
Right.
So his hands was tied behind his back and he couldn't do anything, which means that he didn't get the support he needed. So I don't think so much so as he was like a token or a puppet or token black. He just couldn't do anything.
Right.
Reason why I say he was used as a puppet or a token was because the laws that he passed were gay rights laws. If that wasn't a puppet move, and this is truly our president, then he's got a lot to do with the world today, and the way that there's so much homosexuality, and
That would be a messed up history book to write that said that he would be responsible for that.
I mean, what he passed the law.
So that's interesting because, like, if there were what law, I'm trying to figure out the law that was passed in regards, because,
Same-sex marriage.
okay, so in regards to same-sex marriage and gay having rights, are you saying that wasn't happening? Let's remove the law to get married. Are you saying that gays wasn't doing what they were doing prior to?
He made it okay for them to be in the household together,
the
showing
US.
a child that this is okay to do.
And get
That's horrible.
medical right. You can get your medical spouse bills. On you can claim
Right.
them on your if you got a job, now they're your spouse. So you can do that now. They can get You can put them on your medical and your dental and all that. Whereas before Obama, you couldn't do that.
You see a lot more of it.
He
now
made it
than-
okay, and that's what the problem is for me. You made that okay. So if that wasn't a puppeteer, what was that? Was that our black man saying that? I feel like it was a puppeteer act. We get him to do it. You know what I mean?
So
I don't think he felt like we should have same-sex marriage. He's not married to a man.
So you're saying that other presidents wouldn't do it because of
the reputation of that.
because they didn't want to be tied to
This
that.
is for the rest of life. You were the president who
Told us this.
Okay, now playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
What if he really felt like, and this is just me just looking at it from a different angle. What if Obama really felt like, you know what, gay people should have rights too, and they shouldn't be mistreated, and they should be able to be free to love who they want to love, and I'm the only president with enough balls to pass the law.
Give it to the blacks first before you give it to the gays.
Man,
That's my question.
the thing is, it is not right or written in the Bible that two men should be together. Period. Let's face what we're talking about.
That is.
Period. You know, we're not talking about something that's okay to be doing.
Right.
First off,
I feel what you're saying, Slash. It kind of has changed the dynamic of
how the world is
yeah.
Exactly.
done today.
Yeah.
Now everybody's sensitive about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now. You know what I mean? So this is what you made okay to do.
Exactly.
So, you know, this is the world we live in today. Now, and here's something different I want to bring up too, the religion aspect of it in the different cultures. Now, I know that most of the churches we go to, and a lot of black people are firm believers in God. You know, a lot of us respect, you know, the church, and we go to church. But is some of these churches getting too much to be about fashion in the black churches? Whereas when you go to the white community churches, they not into fashion like that at the churches. They're going to get the word, not to show you what they bought. But that's what's going on in the black community. So it's a big difference there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have more of these black churches now and these black preachers that's got millions of dollars.
You got a good point. Think about it. Right now it's February, right? You don't see any pictures of women and their kids coming from church on Facebook or Instagram. Easter's March 31st. Watch how many Easter.
Oh, you'll see them all day.
all day long.
Yeah,
you don't see no pictures now on a regular day.
Yeah, nah.
I think that's been going on since the beginning.
Yeah,
bro. I think
for a long
that
time.
just blacks,
Yeah.
just our culture, we want to look nice regardless.
Yeah.
And so in regards to the white churches, I think white churches been duping people out of money since the beginning. I remember Jimmy Swagger.
Yeah, you
I
remember.
Yeah, and see, they was on TV.
Yeah. I remember Tammy Faye Baker and
Faye
all
Baker.
that.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I think they've been duping people out of money for.
Well,
hell,
wow.
there's a commercial I've seen in the last couple of days. They selling miracle water. A white man.
Yeah. He's
Nah,
one of
ain't
that
that crazy?
infomotion. Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, miracle water.
Who's buying that?
And then guess who they use to promote it? To say, yeah, I had the miracle water, and a black man. But I'm just saying, a black man.
yeah.
So white people been
Yeah, they on a different level with
duping
it.
people out of money
Yeah.
forever.
It's just now the money comes directly from the person that's coming to church rather than it being online and coming through the mail or however they used to do it. Now you taking it right from the people in church.
exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's really that's really crazy. But you know, I guess like you say, other coaches do it. They just have a different way of doing it. But our way is so visual. You know,
It's too obvious.
It's really obvious. And that brings me to my black fact you can't take back. My black fact today is going to be James Baldwin. He was actually a preacher, and he became a Pentecostal preacher at the age of 14. He was born in Harlem, in New York City. So he had a lot to do with the community from, being a preacher so young, and he also owned a publishing company. So he would publish books, and he had a lot of books that he wrote, and a lot of his books were geared towards the black community in ways of, bettering ourselves and doing better for ourselves like that. So shout out to James Baldwin. He was born in 1924. So shout out to James Baldwin. When you get a chance, y'all check these books out, and do me a favor. Let's start reading more. Let's open up some books. Let's not always be on TV trying to watch stuff. You know what I'm saying? And y'all check us out next time. So that's going to do it for this episode of Black Friday. Hit that like button and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook, The 52 Scott Podcast, on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast. Check us out on Monday for Music Mondays. See y'all then.